welcome back to the show. Our Global Outlook is sponsored by Maury Beschloss's newsletter, Global Outlook. To receive a complimentary copy, just log on to our website, theworldreport.org. ISIS continues its murderous march as the rise of anti-Islamic movements grip Germany and Sweden. Could we be witnessing another Nazi-type rise? Also, a top Iranian general admits what we've instinctively known. Their ultimate goal is the destruction of the United States and Israel. Big Satan, little Satan.
Yeah, well, what's new? I mean, they've been saying that for years.
So ISIS is continuing to expand its caliphate. It seems like we're so concerned about what's going on domestically that we've kind of stopped paying attention to what's going on over there.
The only ones that are fighting are the Kurds, who they've got guts. And
they do have guts.
Yeah, they're like Israel. I mean, Kurds.
And that's the one group that we won't support and we won't back and we don't seem to want to pay attention to.
Well, the Kurds are a sad lot in the sense they've been... Saladin, who was the one that was victorious over the Crusaders and kicked them out of the Middle East and is venerated by the Muslims as being the person that Islamicized the Middle East, was a Kurd and didn't have any use for Islam as such, but they used him as a propaganda tool. But the point is right now that the caliphate is going forward because nobody's doing anything to stop it.
And now that we're pulling out of Afghanistan, it's going to even expand farther.
Well,
I mean, Iran's right next door. They've got to start to get nervous about this at some point.
That's the irony of the whole thing. I think the big showdown is going to be between the She-ites of Iran. Iran is the king of the She-ites.
And the Sunnis of the militant Islamists.
Yeah, exactly.
ISIS. Interesting. I wonder what Saddam Hussein would think if he could see what's going on today. He was a Sunni.
Yeah, he was a Sunni. And he was the only one that was able to control Iran. When they had that 8-year war, we've mentioned that before on the show. Kissinger at the time, I guess, as a joke, said it's a shame it wasn't like the 30-year war in Europe when the Catholics and the Protestants were fighting because they'd kill each other off.
So you got Iraq, Syria, now Afghanistan. There's a little bit of a wall being built around the Iranian regime. And like you said, they've got to be a little bit nervous at this point right now.
They're very nervous about it right now. And I think this is why this guy Romani it seems that he's making the right noises, but he seems to be more moderate in the way he's coming across. Also, Iran...
But really, that's just a figurehead. These guys mean nothing.
The Ayatollah
right.
Khamenei, who is the son of Khomeini, who got rid of the Shah.
The supreme leader.
I'll tell you what you've got going right now. There's a strong relationship between Iran and Russia, and both of them are getting shafted by this oil situation. I see there is going to be a lock up between those two, and
we talked about this off the air too. This goes back to biblical prophecy 2,000 years ago.
Gog and Magog, that's exactly right.
The Iranian-Russian merger.
Yeah, that's I think the days of the Saudis may be numbered. They've got nothing going for them. First of all, this I can verify. There are 5.
And they have no military.
No.
If it isn't for us protecting them, they're done.
Well, Saddam Hussein was ready. Remember when he took Kuwait? He was ready to march into Saudi Arabia. We saved his. George H.W. Bush saved his bacon at the time. Otherwise, they would have walked right in and taken over. And the Saudis, there is no question in my mind that on 9/11. The Saudis knew exactly what was going to happen.
Oh, 3/4 of the hijackers were from Saudi Arabia.
Well, I can tell you this. My daughter-in-law, who was working for the Carlyle Group at the time, was acting as a hostess to the bin Laden family. There were a lot of them. They were supposed to have breakfast the morning of 9/11. That night, a big jet came and picked them up, and they were gone. So there was. You see, the Saudis have a group inside. They're called the Wahhabis. Have you ever heard of those?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they are like ISIS.
But aren't they a Sunni sect? You know, when you get
They
to
are,
these little denominations, it starts to become a little
the,
confusing
the
to me.
Wahhabis could have taken over the Saudis a long time ago and made it a vicious military state rather than more of a commercial thing.
So why would ISIS go in to Saudi Arabia if they're Sunni as well?
But you got different type of Sunnis. The thing is, the Wahhabis have been paid off to take their dirty work elsewhere. Just keep it away from Riyadh and from our oil fields. There's only 5 huge oil fields, and they have not been audited for the last 35 years, ever since they pulled out of Aramco and told them to go fly a kite. So the news I get is the fact that they are 2/3 depleted. They have $1 trillion of cash available that allows them some flexibility at this time, but that they don't have the oil future, and they don't want anybody to come in there to take a look at it. They don't want any kind of technological help, and once those fields are dry,
Bye-bye Saudi Arabia.
that's it. Oh,
Bye-bye King of Saudi.
well, they have the biggest desert in the world.
Yeah. Germany and Sweden and some other European countries are seeing some very outright anti-Islamic movements going on right now. They've been diversified, you know that word diversity, which basically means let anybody in the third world come in and invade your country. You're of German descent. You lived in Germany. You came from Germany. Do you see another rise of an anti-Islamic movement similar to the Nazi movement? I mean, it's not the Jews, but it's the Islamists at this point.
No, well, first of all, you can't compare anything to the Nazis. But if you're saying, is there a new group of young Germans who are willing
Up to here with it all?
Yeah, I think so. That's what I hear from my contacts, that they're not going to put up with this much longer. They had a big riot in Dresden, of all places, and yeah, I can see it. I'm curious what kind of uniform they're going to wear.
They have brown shirts or green shirts? Or
I don't know yet.
says the man in the brown suit.
No.
We need to take a short commercial break. Our political insider and moment in history are on deck. Again, if you missed any segments, just go to our website, theworldreport.org. You can see the whole show. You can see a segment. You can like us. You can hate us. You can recommend us. But do watch us. We'll return in just a moment.